record. All right, so today in Pro Tools a little bit, we're going to continue talking about busing stuff. And we talked about grouping things, the subgroups and renaming groups and stuff like that. But let's just talk a little bit about how to bus the send effects. Just make sure that everybody's good on send effects here. So let's just hit play on this. That sounds great. Hold on. Yep, there we go. That's what it sounds like. Cool. Also, later on at the end, at the last hour that I'm talking about this stuff, great, good for you. I'm proud of you. I just baked cookies. I'll get you a cookie. That was aimed at Sebastian, sorry. If y'all are like, what's he talking about? What I'm going to do at the end of class, not the end of class, but later on in the second hour, I'm going to talk about how I did the vocal in here. So that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit later. Because the vocal is actually really, really cool. How I did it is really interesting. And maybe, no, this computer, I don't have the drive vocal on it. It's on a hard drive at my house. I'm not hating. I'm just not going to get too excited about something you should have done like last week. Sorry. I have a pretty sarcastic sense of humor. Let's do this one here. All right. So let's get the vocal. The vocal comes in here. Right here with the vocal where it says vocal. Solo. Why are you not soloed? Something's not, oh, this one.
Back up in there like you when I come around. Make it good, make it ride, make that ass go side to side. Make it work, make it last, make it clap, make it splash. I'm the reason why you waiting. No discussion, no debating me. I'm so sophisticated, love it.
All right, we got that vocal there. I'm not going to run it through this track. That's just redundant for now. There we go.
Back up in there.
Cool. All right. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to throw some reverb on that vocal. So what I'm going to do, can you review the tracks real quick, like what's what and what's grouped together? I've been so hooked on the project song, I can't remember what's going on with the session. Yeah, no problem, RJ. So what I got going on here is we got some kicks. So basically over here, and you'll notice that I always color code everything, and it's always the same, well, mostly the same colors. So my drums are always kind of like a brick orange kind of color, and then I have my basses are always red. And then over here, I've got my vocals, which are always green. Effects are usually yellow, and then other stuff kind of gets to be different colors. So here, my synths and stuff are blue in this case. And then over here is my aux. It's going through this master aux and into the bounce. And that was so you could bounce things down. And I'm going to talk about the vocal at the end, Hunter. I'm going to talk about that vocal at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock we're going to talk about. Because I want to go into detail on that vocal and show you how I did it. So I've got this stuff going on here. So the drums, the bass here, the synths, effects, and then the vocals here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run these vocals into a reverb for now. And I'll use Valhalla reverb today. I don't have my UAD plugged in. I think in the original track I used like a lexicon or something like that. But for today I'm just going to use Valhalla, which is a great plugin. The Valhalla plugins are like $50. And they're, I mean, $50 for a reverb is not bad at all, and a lot of people use them. It's a great reverb to have. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make an aux track. And I got this here. I hit Command-Shift-N, and I'm going to go over here. I'm going to call this one reverb vocal, like that. Make sure I make it stereo. Make it an aux track, and hit reverb vocal. And you'll notice that usually I like to try to put like the word reverb in front of things or the word echo in front of things, just to keep things more organized. So it goes ahead and it puts the reverb vocal aux track here. And on the aux track, I'm going to go ahead and let's put a reverb on here. Oh wait, maybe I don't have, do I have, I do have Valhalla, good, okay, cool. So I got Valhalla here. I don't really do stuff in Pro Tools so much anymore for my effects and things like that. I do all my mixing in Ableton Live these days, so. All right, so I got my Valhalla here, and let's go ahead and route the vocals into the vocal reverb track. And the way we're gonna do that is I'm gonna go from one of my sends here. I'm gonna go from the send here, and I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go to track, and go to reverb vocal down here, click. And now it goes ahead and routes it, and put a little, hold down command and click on that solo button.
That up and down like you when I come around. Make it good, make it ride, make that ass go side to side. Make it work, make it last, make it clap.
And there we go, we got the thing in there. Now, what we're gonna do is go over to my presets. Let's see. Okay, I believe her. There you go. Got you. Thanks. That's hilarious. If Britney Spears was possessed and recorded a pop song, how do you know she wasn't? I didn't see any proof that she wasn't possessed. Isn't that her whole career? All right, so over here, we'll just go through these user presets. I can't. Ugh. Let's see here.
That up and down like you when I come around. Make it good, make it ride, make that ass go side to side. Make it work, make it last, make it clap, make it splash. I'm the reason why you waiting. No discussion, no debating me. I'm so sophisticated, love it when you misbehaving.
Now, what I often like to do when I'm checking out different presets for my reverbs and stuff like that is I like to put the reverb up more than I would normally have it, so I can hear it clearly.
That up and down like you when I come around. Make it good, make it ride, make that ass go side to side. Make it work, make it last, make it clap, make it splash. I'm the reason why you waiting. No discussion, no debating me. I'm so sophisticated, love it when you misbehaving. Cop that ride, hop inside, make you do that drop and slide.
Drop and slide.
That up and down like you when I come around. Make it good, make it ride, make that ass go side to side. Make it work, make it.
There we go. All right. So, sorry, I'm just laughing at RJ's comments. All right, so there we go. There's a nice little reverb on there. Now, let's just check out let's see about these synths here as well.
That up and down like you when I come around. Make it good.
Zoom will be at 3 o'clock, like a little bit after 3.
That up and down like you when I come around. Make it good, make it right.
Now, if I want to go ahead and throw, let's say I want to take the synth and stick it into the reverb over here. Well, what I can do is, now that I've already created this reverb, here's a cool little shortcut for you. Now that I've already created this reverb, and they're both stereo tracks, I can see this is a stereo track and this is a stereo track here. They're both stereo tracks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Option. I'm going to drag it on over. Boop. And it goes ahead and it just takes that reverb send and sends it from that next track to it, just copies it over. So now,
that up and down.
and this is a little synth that I made using the Nord modular. Cool, you got that set up in there, nice. So now we can hear both of them going in.
That up and ass go side to side. Make it work, make it last, make it clap, make it splash. I'm the reason why you waiting. No discussion, no debating me. I'm so sophisticated. Love it when you misbehaving. Hop that ride, hop inside, make you do that drop and slide.
Drop and slide, side to side, do it good, do it right. Drop and slide, side to side, do it till you move it right. Drop and slide, side to side, make you feel it in your thighs. Drop and slide, side to side, let me know you feel the vibe. Drop and slide, side to side, show me what you feel inside.
So if I want to take that synth and make it a little bit louder, what I would do is I got this Nord Alarm synth here. Instead of pushing up the volume in the main mix window here, instead of just taking it and going like that, what I would do is I would take this track here, which we don't need to have playing the whole time. Take this one here and push it up here. Click on this, and if you want to mess with the gain, the clip gain on a track, just click that and drag it up, and I'll just drag it up. Let's do it by 6 dB here, and also 6 dB over here. And then I can pull it back if I want. I'd rather push it up there and pull it back a little bit on here. I try to keep it so none of my tracks go over 0 on here, which I think is a good idea. Sometimes I'll see a lot of people who get their mixes and they're pushing things over 0 a lot of the time, and it's better not to do that if you can. So Daniel says you could use trim also, right? And the answer is yes, but we have clip gain, so I don't really feel the need to put another plugin on the track, because with Pro Tools you only have 5 plugin slots. So I got you. I'm not Todd. Have you? Really, Jeannie? Really? Really? Wow. Yeah, wow is right. Wow. You don't even remember what Todd looked like? I'm sad. Can I eject you? Can I eject you from the discussion? Oh. I need a drink. I love Todd too. How do I teach these kids? Oh, that's so funny. Aren't there 10 plugin slots? There are 10 plugin slots. There are. You're right. You can get 10 plugins in here, but it depends on the sizes. I mean, I just stick with 5 usually, but you can get 10 plugins. I already told you what time is Zoom. I'm not telling you again. We're gonna do Zoom here in a minute. But anyway, so that's how you route your stuff around. And so what I was saying before is you could use a trim plugin for for like adding gain into stuff, but I like to do it with the clip gain in the track. So that's that there. Else was there something somebody said? I feel like there was like something somebody else said. Let's see here. All right. Yep. All right, cool. So we got that. We get this reverb in here. And I guess that was it. So if you're bringing tracks in, for those of you who are doing the if you have Pro Tools and you're doing the mix part of this, the people who are the group leaders, what you're going to be doing is you're going to add a new track in, and the other people are going to send it to you on their iPad. What I'll do is I'll set up here after the break, and we'll talk about exporting from the iPad in case people already forgot how to export from the iPad. But what we'll do is, and by after the break, I mean after we do the, because you're going to go ahead and work in groups here for a little bit. But if you're working with your track, you're going to have your track in here, and then somebody will make the keyboard line in their iPad or on another computer or whatever, and then you'll bring it into Pro Tools. And you just literally just email it to the person and upload it in, which it should work. If you're having troubles with it, let me know. We'll talk about it. We'll go over it. And I want to get this stuff going now as soon as possible so that you don't wait until the end and have issues like combining everything together, because that's the part where you probably will have issues, and we'll have to go over some stuff a bit. So I guess I feel like there was something else I wanted to mention about in here, but that's probably good enough talking about this here. Did you have something, RJ? No, you were just asking about overall stuff. Yeah, I guess that's pretty good. If you have questions about routing, let me just show you real quick. The routing stuff is here. Where? Daily notes. Yeah, it's basically here. Talks about doing the reverb stuff. It's in this lesson 13 here in your notes. So here it talks about busing and talks about sending for a regular like subgroup mixing as well for synth effects and this stuff here. Linking Hearts says, is it possible that while, let's say, doing the project in Ableton, you mix it and everything sounds good, just dragging the clips into audio files in Pro Tools, everything you need to level is fine? I know I worded that whole question wrong. No, you didn't word it wrong. You're actually, that wording is great. And the answer is, in theory, yes, but the engines are a little bit different. So even if you bounce out everything in Ableton Live and it sounds great and you keep all the levels exactly the same, you're gonna have to do some tweaks in Pro Tools and mess with things a little bit. But also in Pro Tools, I do wanna see you adding some effects and stuff in. So leave some stuff for Pro Tools because I wanna be able to check your mixes and see everything in Pro Tools so that so that I know that y'all know what you're doing in Pro Tools. Or if you do it in Ableton Live, or you could do it like this. If you do it in Ableton Live, if you combine stuff in Ableton Live, send me the Ableton Live session as well. All right, and we're gonna have to make sure, I asked for it to be mixed in Pro Tools, but I feel if we finish it in Ableton, then Pro Tools is just playing the audio files. Yeah, but I wanna see what your process is. I wanna see it, because if I don't see it, I can't help you. It's not because I want to punish you. I want to be able to help you. And what I do when I do my final projects is I give people feedback on how they've done stuff. Like, you're doing this is great, but you could add some stuff in here. You can add some stuff in there, like that. So it's hard to do that if I don't see what your process is. Yep. Cool. All right, so yeah, don't forget, lesson 13 here is talking about routing stuff. So you want us to produce in Ableton, mix it in Pro Tools? No, you can produce it in Pro Tools. I don't care what you produce it in. You can produce it all on the iPad and just bring things in and compile it in Pro Tools. It doesn't need to be produced in Ableton Live. It can be produced in whatever, but I want to receive the final project in Pro Tools because that's the one I'm most concerned with y'all knowing how to use, because that's the one that you're going to need to use out in the real world. I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's do this. Let's take a 10-minute break, and what we're going to do is I'm going to make a Zoom session. I'm going to make that right now. Let's just do save as. Oh, Pro Tools is finally standardizing stuff. Here we go, save as with the reverb. Don't have Pro Tools and no space on our computer for Pro Tools. I'll see if anyone in my group has it. If you don't have Pro Tools, yeah. I want John's class to join as well. Justin M. I thought I got you, Justin. I didn't. Oh, no, I got John. Justin M. Oop, there we go. So I want John's class to join. And it's not, we're not going to do anything in, like, you don't have to come and join the Zoom session unless you want to talk to me about something. So the Zoom session is really just so I'm going to be here. I'm going to be on Zoom. I'm gonna turn off the Twitch stream for now, and then on Zoom, I'm just gonna be available for taking questions and answering stuff. And if y'all want to get together in a group and talk to me about some stuff, that's great. Are we only limited to? Yes, I'm helping the students for the project, and I can help people in John's class or my class, both classes. And let's see, are we only limited to Pro Tools and Ableton? Pretty much. I mean, what else did you want to use? And don't say FL Studio.